Okay. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of how to prune your tomato plants. Usually you want to wait till they get about maybe 2 feet, 1.5 feet like this, and they have a lot of different growth on them. So I've just finished weeding this area, and there's a few main areas you want to go over when pruning. You want to look for suckers, which come in the crux of the branches, and then you want to just clear up for airflow at the bottom. The reason why you want to wait a bit till they get about this high is if you prune them too early, you're just going to have to prune them again. And this is a good point because we're in mid-July now and they're going to start to really explode, so you want to make sure that especially the bottom foot is cleared up for airflow for when they take over, because if you leave them too long, they'll get way out of control and you're going to have a hard time pruning them back. So with that being said, this guy here, there's lots of growth forming on it. What we're going to want to look for is in the corners here, we want to prune anything back. Anything on the bottom section, we're also going to want to prune back. So you can also just take a pair of shears like this, just a sharp pair of pruning shears. Buy them at Home Depot. You can use scissors too. And what ends up happening at the end of the year is bacteria gets into the leaves from the soil. So you want to just go ahead and prune up all the bottom ones here. So. Don't be afraid to prune them. Tomatoes react really well to pruning, and they'll simply just focus their energy on the other existing leaves, so you can really give tomatoes a good haircut and they won't notice. When I talk about suckers too, if you look here, there was a branch here and then one grew up in the middle. So you just want to go ahead and prune all the suckers off too. Now, people are divided on whether or not you should prune back the suckers. The main argument for pruning the suckers is while they will flower and they will produce tomatoes off of them, they won't be as efficient as the main stem. So it's not the end of the world if you don't prune your suckers, but it's going to help to give you a healthier and more efficient plant. If you're to leave them on, it could upset the weight balance too and cause them to tip over. So pruning the suckers helps keep it stabilized, balanced, and it grows more efficiently and healthier. So you don't have to, but it is suggested. So as you can see here, it's all cleared up at the bottom. Now you could even go further, right, and prune that guy off. Basically, up until the first set of fruit you want to clear up just to give it some airflow, and that should be healthy. There's no more suckers growing on this one, so that should be good. You really just want to clean up the bottom foot and take care of any suckers and anything that looks unhealthy, because like I was saying before, in the later season, especially when it cools off and it rains, the bacteria from the soil can get onto the leaves and it just makes it unhealthy. So this is all just to create a healthier plant. You can see the same on this guy here. He's got a lot of low growth, not a lot of suckers forming yet, but you just want to go ahead and chop up all that low growth. Everything down there that's close to the soil, usually about a foot, but it depends on your personal preference. That should be fine. That cleans it up, and then there's no suckers growing, so you're good for now. This is a better example. I haven't finished fully weeding here, but this is quite overgrown as a tomato plant, and I'll just use it to point out kind of the areas you want to take care of. First off, down in here, there's a lot of growth that's touching the ground, and you can see it's yellowing back. So you really just want to go through and snip that and take care of that. But this is a good example because you can see what I mean. You want to create that airflow and cut down that bottom part. And then see here, the main stem, the branch, and then this is coming out of the middle. So it looks pretty healthy, but it's actually a sucker, and we're going to want to trim those back, especially early on, because like I was saying before, it's still going to grow fruit, but it's going to offset the weight balance, and it's just not going to be as efficient at growing. So again, we have another sucker here. They come out of the main stem. First, the side branch, so we just want to cut that, and then in this case we're going to cut the main stem too. So down here we're going to want to trim that, And even here, this one is higher up, but it sags to the ground, so I want to trim that too. Then this is a sucker, and that comes off. Lastly, over here, we want to trim that. And then if you see here, if it'll focus, that's a sucker, and it's really small, but you want to get it now because it will grow fast. So that's pretty good. I mean, you could trim this guy off too. Why not? Tomatoes are fine and they'll stay healthy. Now it's branched off here into two separate ones. I'm gonna leave that. I believe one of these, this one here is a sucker, but it'll be okay. So then I'm just gonna look for more suckers. So you can see here, there's a branch. This guy here comes off. They snap off pretty easily, so not a huge issue. You wanna look for them anywhere else. Not there. And just kind of give it a once over. So this plant's pretty healthy. See, down here. If you can focus on that. Right here. See, there's a branch. And this guy comes out the middle. Just pull them off. So look over it, everything looks healthy. We've got our distance now at the bottom, you know, about a foot, and the weight is okay. It's obviously branching into two, but it's a lot healthier now and there's no more suckers. So that's kind of the general idea you want to put towards all of your plants. And this guy should be pretty healthy moving forward.